back to 5 minutes of wheelchair basketball. And last week we did a lot of fun things with some layups and different things we do in practice. Today we're going to talk about shooting, and we're going to look at some shooting progressions and just some different shooting drills. So you're not just going out and shooting, you're really changing things up a little bit and looking at shooting in a different way. So we're going to talk about some backboard shooting, some line shooting, and then some of the different partner shooting drills that we do, just starting out on some basics. And hopefully you'll get some good things you can do in your practice to break down your practices. You can do them as by yourself with a rebounder, or with partners, or in groups of 3 or groups of 4. If you only have 2 goals, sometimes we'll do these drills in groups of 4 or 5 as a team and try to get 10 makes in a row, or try to get 20 makes in 90 seconds as a team. So a lot of fun things you can do. I hope you get some good ideas for your practice. So this is just a basic 4-corner layup where we do the outlet, cross, and then come in. The rebounder circles around and comes back to this line. Just a different way to do layups. In the first film, we did the Euler layups. So this is just a different way to be basically doing the same thing, but maybe a little bit more game-like with the passing. You know, one of the things that we just talked about in our huddle was use this to work the little things. Use this to work the communication. Use this to work passing. In our scrimmages, sometimes we'll have some lazy passing. So use this to work the little things like that. To the side of the backboard. And this really, turn your chair a little bit. There you go. And this really focuses on, there you go. All right. If they can't hit it so that it comes back to them, then it's going to be hard for them to get a straight shot and a consistent shot. And that's what we're working on, is consistency. So Kyle's about 5 feet back. You might want to start your athletes like right up on the backboard. For a freshman, Kyle's coming in as a pretty good shooter. So what we'll try to do is maybe 50 in a row on the side of the backboard. And they can start with the little padding part and then go on up to the higher part. But you're not going to really have a good consistent shot if they can't do this consistently. Straight shot to the backboard and back to them. The other thing on working shooting is just one-handed shots. Really focusing on form, focusing on release, focusing on getting the elbow and driving the shot with the elbow. And really what we see a lot of athletes coming up with a two-handed shot. So we're trying to, even coming into college sometimes, we're trying to get them to understand that they have the strength to make a shot with good technique. A lot of people get that two-handed shot because they're not strong enough to shoot with one hand. So sometimes with athletes coming in, we have to just back up and say, all right, let's work on one-handed shots. And then it gets them really to focus on technique, elbow, and watch Juan. Juan's really good at finding his visual focus. You see his eyes. He's focused on that one point he wants to hit. And now what he's working on is getting a good release and an arc so that the ball comes in without hitting the rim. And that's really what we want is, we call this a Steve Nash warm-up. It's just coming in at the right angle to be right in the sweet spot of the rim. One of the things we've been working on in our shooting is getting that right release angle so that the ball comes into the hoop at the right angle. In able-bodied basketball, they want the shot really ideally to be 11 inches behind the front of the rim, and they want the shot coming in at about 64 degrees. So because we're not standing up and we're not jumping, I haven't seen any studies as to what the right release angle for wheelchair basketball is. So that's what we're playing around with, is what's a good release angle from the shoulder, biomechanically, the shoulder to the arm release, and then getting that ball to come in 11 inches past the front of the rim. Now we'll do spot shooting, 90 seconds. This is just a different shooting drill. 90 seconds, as many makes as they can. And you want to work on passing, you have to hustle after your rebound. And today we're counting percentages, so we're looking at makes and misses to see by team what kind of percentages they can get. And we'll do 90 seconds at each spot. 1, 2, 3. 3's the elbow, 4 free throw, 5 the elbow, 6 the 45 on the other side, and 7 is the other baseline. And we'll just kind of look at, one of the things I want them to get out of this is, what's your strong spot? what's your game shot, your money shot when it comes down to it, and you're maybe not shooting well in the game. Where do you want to go to because you know you're going to be making your shots? So this is just, sometimes we'll put cones out. We'll have one rebounder and one person who just go around the cone, shoot, rebound, go to the other side. And they'll go 90 seconds straight shooting. But this one we're just doing as partner shooting. Makes and misses.